Hello and welcome back to my channel. And yeah, in today's video we are going to be beginning our SQL series. All right, and to begin with, we are starting this video with how to import data into SQL. All right, how to create a database and importing our files, our tables into SQL. Now you see, it's important to first off, when wanting to import data to SQL, to create a database for this. All right, now this database serves as a means to hold the file, okay, that we want to be working with. All right, now what do I mean by this? So what I simply mean by this is that, let's assume this is a data set that we are actually working with for this particular video. All right, so for this particular video and subsequent videos, the project that we'll be working with is called the marketing. All right, is this particular data set. All right, marketing data set. Okay, and so for us to be able to import this particular data into SQL, and we are using my SQL Server. All right, so for us to be able to import that particular data into this SQL, so we are able to do our analysis, it's important that we create a database with. So what I do is that normally I create a database with the name of the file. All right, and then I import my file into it, and that serves as table under my database. Okay, so what I mean by that is that if you look at databases over here, if you click this arrow, you are going to see it show you this particular item. So these are the databases. So currently this is the database that I have in this SQL server. All right, but then if I click on this, you're going to realize that in this particular database we have something called tables. Okay, and it's the tables in this particular database that hosts the files that we are working with. Okay, so in today's we are not looking at telecom chart analysis, but rather we want to import marketing data set, all right, which is this particular one, into SQL, and then we want to do some analysis with it. All right, and so first off, you need to create a database. Now you can create a database with queries, but then it's easier to just right click on the database, so like so, and then you have your option to create a new database. All right, and like I said, it's the new database that hosts our tables, it hosts our data set. All right, and so every single importation that you do, you need to keep this in mind, that you need to create your database, all right, for that particular table, for that particular data set that you are working with. And so we are creating a database, and I'm going to right click on the database, go to new database, click on new database, and what's going to happen is I'm going to give me this. So I'm going to name my database. So it says database name, and like I said, what I do is that I name my database based on the file that I'm working with. And so this particular series or this particular video, we are working with the marketing data set. All right, so I'm going to name this marketing. All right, marketing database. And then once I'm done naming my database, so you can use any name to represent your database, but just so you are able to keep track of your data sets, all right, what you are working with, it's just important or normal to save it with the data set name. All right, so once I'm done, I'm going to click on OK. You can see it right there, and I've added to the database. Okay, so now when I come to the database, I hit on this plus sign, and it's going to show me the databases that I have in or under this SQL server. Okay, and so I have the marketing database which I have just created. All right, but this doesn't mean much. This is just a database, so unless we feed it with our tables, so currently when I click on the tables, we don't have anything. All right, because we've not imported the file that we want. Okay, and so let's say if I want to pull in something from this, if I go to new query, I'll talk about this later, and I type select from marketing, and I type this. Now it's going to give me an error. It's going to give me this error: invalid object name, marketing database, because there's no file in this. I haven't imported any file in this. This is just a database just to host my projects. But after having a database, you need to upload your projects, and that's what we are going to do. And so once I have this, how do I pull in or import my files into this particular database? So I'm going to click on this particular database I'm working with. I'm going to go to right click. All right, so once I click on right click, I'm going to go to tasks, okay, and I'm going to go to import file right here. So I'm importing the file into that. All right, so when I come here, you see this particular interface, go to next, and then it asks you location of file to be imported. So what is the file that you are importing? The file that you imported that you want to work with. All right, you want to come here, you go to your browse, and it's going to give you the option to select your file. So wherever the file was saved at, maybe downloads, documents, wherever it was saved at, you go to that particular location. In my case, it's at downloads in a folder called datas, and then what I'll work on. Okay, so that's where I save this file. I'm going to hit on marketing, and I'm going to go to open. I've selected it. All right, and then it's going to give me all of this. So this is where the data set was found. The table name is marketing, and then the table schema gives me this, and I'm going to go to next. All right, so once I click on next, I'm going to get a preview of my data set, of the data sets that I want. So sometimes when you get this, you can just go back and check, but this is actually what is in the data or what is in the table. So yeah, so I just go to next, and I'm going to go to next, and then I'm going to go to finish when I'm done. So it's going to load and say insert data, and you can see it says successful. So this has been done, and then I can just close this. Once this is closed, I come here, or you come here, then you refresh it. All right, you refresh it. It's just good to do that. So now when I click on when I hit on marketing, and I come to tables and I click on it, you realize that now we have the table, or we have the file inside that particular database and the table column. So now we have the file. So this is it. So if I'm to try selecting it again, I say select all from. Now we are selecting from the table. So we don't select from the database, select from the table. So that is why before there was no table in that database. So when we use the database name, it don't work because databases are just supposed to host the tables. All right. But now we have a table in the database, which is this. So when I go back to saying select all from marketing, okay, go to select all from marketing. So this is still showing the database. So what I can do is that I can just copy this, okay, and bring it right here, paste. So this is my data, my data on my table. So now if I select this and I hit on execute, now it's showing me all of the data or everything that is in that particular data set. All right, so now this is the information that I want. This is what is in this particular table, and it is this particular table that we are working with, not the database name. All right, so yeah, this is how to import data, this is how to create a database, and this is how to import data into the database, and then you are going to find it in the database table. All right, and so yeah, I hope this was successful. I hope this made so much sense. If it didn't, be sure to leave a comment down below. If there are any questions, I'll attend to and I'll make sure I look at them. Don't forget to subscribe and like if this is something that you like to follow and you like to get used to or get more knowledge on. Alright? And so yeah, like I always say, be sure to take care of yourself and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.